Meh. I just missed a doe. She came in the totally opposite way that I was expecting her to. Snuck in on me on my offside. I saw her at the bottom of the power line trail, and then it looked like she was going to cross in front of me. But instead she cut back, came around. She was within 20, but I couldn't move. And she sensed something was up, so she took off. Came around to my left shoulder. Up at the top of the hill, quartering away, I stopped her at, must have been 35. I put the 40 on her. I forgot my rangefinder. I don't know where my rangefinder is. And it sailed right over her back. That was fun. I just wish I could have gotten her. Morning's not over yet, so maybe something else will come through. I just saw a doe and fawn further down the telephone trail. Or, what's this thing called? The telephone pole trail. They're about 80 or 90 yards down below me. But I'm gonna get down and I'm gonna go look for my arrow. But before I do that, I want to show you guys what happened. Alright, so that doe and fawn came out way down there just a few minutes ago. They went across that way. That doe that I shot at came out from this side, came out here, crossed over. I lost sight of her and I guess she walked right up. And then I caught sight of her again when she came here. And then she walked all the way up to right here. And right here she looked up at me, was bobbing her head up and down. And continued to walk around that way. It's about right there. And she ran up to that opening right there. Actually, she ran up to in between those two trees and stopped, and I drew back. And she walked into the opening, and I stopped her at what I thought was 40. But the arrow sailed right over her back, and she took off. Took off that way. I don't know, I guess she didn't read the script or something. Because there's a field up that way, which I was expecting her to come from. So for her to come in the opposite way was not at all what I was expecting. Alright, I'm down from the tree. I'm gonna go try to find my arrow, and then I'm gonna set this up. I'm gonna set my sticks and all that up at a different tree to hunt out of tomorrow morning, and then head back to the truck and try it again tomorrow. But let's go see what we can find. Well, I looked for my arrow, but I can't find it. I looked for blood, I looked for anything out of place, and I didn't see anything. I'm 99% sure that I went right over the back, but there's just that 1%. Alright guys, I'm back in the AC in the truck. I tried to find a different tree that would work, and I thought I found one, and I climbed up, put my sticks up, put the bandit climber up, I sat there for a few minutes just thinking. One of my goals with hunting is to always be learning, to learn from my mistakes, to learn from things that go wrong. And as I sat there and tried to envision all the shots and all the angles, I couldn't see myself succeeding in that tree with that setup. So I took everything down and came out. The deer were there, which was a lot more than I could say for these previous times. Temperature was perfect. It was 52 degrees this morning. The 4 things that went wrong. Number 1, I didn't have my rangefinder. And I think if everything else still went wrong and I had my rangefinder, I would have been able to take that doe. If I would have had that one thing, I would have been able to range her when she took off and stopped further up the hill. So number 1 was the rangefinder. Rangefinder was super important this morning. Number 2, this was something I couldn't control. She came in from totally different direction than I was planning. She came in opposite from the field, walking up towards the fields. And that was not something I was expecting to see today. And so she just came off my right shoulder, my off shoulder. There's not a whole lot I could have done about that. Thirdly, I should have been watching her more carefully. I saw her at first. At first I thought she was a turkey. But then I realized it was a deer as she started walking up the power line. And she disappeared behind the tree. It looked like she had looked up and seen me. And so she started going around me, but in front of me. She disappeared behind the tree. And I didn't see her, and I was expecting her to continue to walk in front of me. And hopefully I was going to get a shot. So I was looking on, as I was facing my tree, I was looking on the left side, expecting her to walk out. But then something told me to look back to my right, and I looked back and she was standing there already 20 yards to my right. So had I tried to keep a better eye on where she was, I might have been able to make something happen at a closer distance. So number 3 is just making sure I know where she is. And number 4, the setup that I have right now was not conducive to adjusting for that scenario. With the bandit climber and my harness being connected by tethers to the tree, the bandit climber isn't a solid piece attached to the tree, so I can't swing around on it and move around on it. Like, I'm moving with it, and it can only move so far one way or the other without feeling a lot of resistance and eventually pulling me back to center of where the tether is on the tree. So that was one of the reasons why I didn't keep my setup down there. It's because I got up there and I was envisioning all the shots, trying to figure out how I can make something work if a deer comes into my right, and I just couldn't figure it out. So those are the 4 things. Rangefinder, deer came in the way I wasn't expecting, not watching the deer, not being able to adjust with the setup that I had is number 4. So I'm going to go home, regroup, think about my strategy for tomorrow, and go from there. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I wasn't able to get the shot on film this morning, so bear with me as I try out this new thing of hunting and filming. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow with a deer on the ground.